breaks my heart to say goodbye to all these wonderful people that I've enjoyed over the years.
Ahead on Up with KREM, a local business closing their doors because of what they say was unmanageable crime in downtown Spokane.
And I'm tracking your weekend forecast, where today we've got the chance for showers and much cooler temperatures.
Plus, SkyFest is officially here. What you need to know before you head to Fairchild Air Force Base. Good morning, and thank you for starting your day here with us on Up with KREM. I'm Brandon T. Jones. Lots of headlines we'll go over this morning, but first we got to start with Jenny Power over there in the Weather Center. First off, Jenny, how are you doing, and what can we expect in terms of the weather?
Yeah, doing great, Brandon. We've made it to the weekend. That always feels nice. But if you do plan to be outside today here, we do have some changes that are currently underway. It's all thanks to a low pressure system dropping down out of the Gulf of Alaska. And so today, this afternoon especially, we trend much cooler. Daytime highs will only be in the low 60s. And we do have just the slight chance here of some rain showers and even some pop-up thunderstorms possible. But in general, it is going to be partly cloudy and a little bit breezy. Sunday, mostly sunny, breezy winds here, so a little bit drier tomorrow compared to what we see this afternoon. But speaking of this afternoon, these temperatures that we're seeing are cooler than our average. Low 60s for both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, even upper 50s as the daytime high for Pullman and Moscow, low 50s for Republic, mid 60s for Wenatchee and Chelan. And all these areas that are shaded in green here do have the potential of seeing some thunderstorm activity. Now, within these storms, we could see some brief heavy downpour rain, small hail possible. As we get into your future tracker, we really see that moving in here by late afternoon into early evening. So the first half of the day looking decent. But coming up in my extended forecast, I am tracking some very cold overnight lows. In fact, some areas looking at the potential of frost. What you need to be prepared for in that ahead.
All right, well, a quick traffic heads up. We now know where work zone speed cameras will officially be set up in eastern Washington. WashDOT rolled out these cameras last spring, and the goal was to catch drivers speeding through work zones. Back in April, WashDOT announced they would be expanding across the state. WSP troopers issued 77,000 infractions captured by the cameras. WashDOT says the cameras will be set up by the paving project along State Road 904, Geiger Road, and I-90. Happening today, SkyFest at Fairchild Air Force Base starts at 9 a.m. You do need to bring photo ID if you are 18 years or older, and there's usually a big line, so you want to make sure you're getting there early. If you do not want to drive, we've got an option for you. The Spokane Transit Authority is offering a shuttle service. We'll have an extended interview with the air show directors in just about 10 minutes. Also today, Pride in the Park in Coeur d'Alene is taking place. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Coeur d'Alene City Park in Bandshell. It's free and will have a live DJ and family-friendly activities. Turning now to an update on a story we've been following since last summer. A Spokane business is closing for good for what they call an untenable situation downtown. The announcement comes as a lawsuit against the city of Spokane and Catholic Charities is returning to court after being dismissed in May. KREM 2's Regan Gallo has the latest developments.
Well, inside Urbana Spa and Salon, I saw tears and hugs exchanged between the owner, Linda Beal, and her longtime clients, because she has announced the spa is officially closing due to what she says the dangerous activity and crime that's happening right outside her business's front door. On Division in First Avenue, Urbana Spa has welcomed clients for 10 years. Linda Beal, the owner, says she is closing the doors to her spa for good after what she claims the dangerous activity and crime has become too much for her staff and clients.
I will carry with me every memory, every laugh, and every connection that I've made in running this business. And it breaks my heart to say goodbye.
The news of the closure comes as a lawsuit continues between Linda Beal, Catholic Charities Eastern Washington, and the city of Spokane. Court documents show Beal claims the city's support of local housing projects and lack of nuisance law enforcement led to more crime hurting business.
In May, documents show the lawsuit was dismissed in federal court, though Beal confirmed with me the case will go back to Spokane County Superior Court. I reached out to both Catholic Charities Eastern Washington and the city of Spokane for comment. A representative of Catholic Charities responded saying, "Though we cannot comment given the ongoing litigation, we are confident that the litigation process will reveal the spa, salon, and wine bar's closure is not a result of any activity on Catholic Charities property and or any conduct attributable to our residents who are striving to improve their lives." And a spokesperson with the city of Spokane responded, saying this is an active lawsuit. We will not be issuing a statement. Beal tells me Urbana will close permanently on July 25th.
Well, that time of the week, if you need some plans for this Saturday, it is officially time for your weekend What's Up. And first up, the Farm Chicks Vintage and Handmade Fair is this weekend at the Spokane County Fairgrounds. There's going to be hundreds of little shops there starting at 9 a.m. both today and tomorrow. Tickets are $10. Also, again, Pride in the Park is today in Coeur d'Alene. It's from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Coeur d'Alene City Park in Bandshell. It's free and we'll have, again, a live DJ and family-friendly activities. Also today, the Friends of Manitou Spring Plant Sale is going to be taking place. They're going to have a ton of unique plants like shrubs, vines, native plants, and more. It'll be from 8 a.m. this morning to 3 p.m. in the parking lot just east of the Glazer Conservatory. And if you're looking for some new ink, Coeur d'Alene is hosting North Idaho's first ever tattoo festival this weekend. It'll be 3 days of tattooing and competitions at the Coeur d'Alene Resort Hotel today and tomorrow. Spokanimal is doing a pet sale today at noon. There will be toys, leashes, bowls, all things for pets. Most items will cost less than $25 and the proceeds will go to helping the animals. Some musical options now. The Zephyr Folk Festival is this weekend at the Zephyr Lodge in Liberty Lake. It's at 4:30 p.m. and some of the musicians are Dean Johnson, Babes in Canyon, and Smokey Brights. More music now. Bluegrass on the Bluff returns. It starts today at 7 p.m. at the Green Bluff Grange. There's going to be local bands, camping, and even a pancake breakfast. There's also a paint and sip at Green Bluff today. It's at the Mountain View venue on Bluff Dweller Farms. 30-minute hay rides will be available from 11 to 2 p.m. for $35, and tickets for the paint and sip are $50. And a reminder, if you're watching on KSKN 22 this morning, you can get even more Up with KREM weekend show on the KREM 2 app. We stream our weekend shows on the KREM 2 app on Saturday and Sunday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. You can scan that QR code right there that you see on your screen, download the new KREM 2 app directly to your TV. The Spokane Velocity are facing AC Boise tonight. A preview of the match coming up. And in just a few minutes, that extended interview with Skyfest that we promised you, the Air Force Air Show directors will be here and what the show means to them and what visitors need to know. All right, the big day is here. The second ever matchup between the Spokane Velocity and AC Boise. Now, these two teams, they've been able to match up against one another, but neither of them actually have bragging rights right now because ultimately that first game came to a draw. It concluded in a draw, both teams scoring 1 point individually. And that game was over there in Boise, this one here at One Spokane Stadium. So here's what you need to know. Kickoff is tonight at 6 p.m. We need as many fans as possible to come out and support this squad because they've been having a great season, especially when they play right here in front of the home fans. So this is the opportunity to just get a little bit of bragging rights in this new rivalry. And speaking of this new rivalry, we got a chance to have a conversation with Coach Lee Viedman about this new and budding matchup.
I think it's good for the game. It's good for us in this area to have the rivalry on the pitch and off the pitch with the fans as well. It creates a little bit of banter and back and forth, which is all part of the game and fun. Is it business as usual? It is, but at the same time, it's a game that we want to win because of the rivalry, but also because we need to win the game in terms of the group standings for the Prince Tires Cup.
All right, and something else to look forward to this weekend tonight here at the match, the Velocity. They've partnered with Make-A-Wish to create a special experience for a 15-year-old soccer fan, a mega fan who is fighting and regaining his strength after a lymphoma diagnosis. So that's something else to look forward to. Good things happening here at One Spokane Stadium, both on the field and off the field as well. Again, make sure you come out, support the Velocity. Tickets are still available, and go ahead and bring some good energy.
Coming up, I'm tracking much cooler temperatures, especially overnight tonight. What you need to be prepared for ahead.
An inland Northwest tradition is back. We're talking about Skyfest happening this weekend, and we have some very special guests with us. We have Carrie and Pablo with Skyfest. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning.
Okay, first of all, tell us what you do for the Air Force Base and with Skyfest. Why don't we start with Carrie?
Yep, I'm a KC-135 pilot. My day-to-day job is the Director of Wing Innovation, and for the Air Show, I am the Air Show Director.
And Pablo, what about you? What do you do?
I'm an instructor pilot in the KC-135, and my day-to-day job is the Wing Operations Center Director, and then for the Air Show, I'm the Air Operations Director.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Skyfest. A lot of people in this area know what Skyfest is, but then there's probably some newcomers to the area. So kind of give us the rundown. What is Skyfest all about?
Skyfest is just an incredible air show that we have been hosting in this community since the 1950s. This year's Skyfest is going to feature a lot of unique aircraft. We're going to have a B-17, a P-40, a P-38, a host of L-39s. The Patriots jet team is going to come out. It's a sixth ship of L-39s. Think the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels, but the civilian equivalent. So it's a big air show with a lot of community partners that will be there, and it's a great event for the community.
And speaking of that, Pablo, this is a free event for people. Some people might not know that, but tell us about how the community can participate in Skyfest.
Absolutely. So it is a free event, and we're very excited to be able to host the community. Just make sure to have an ID if you're 18 or over. There will be backups at the gate, so expect that and understand that we're going to do our very best to be able to make it as efficient as possible and, of course, as safe as possible. But it is a free event. There will be an STA shuttle as well, too, to and from the air show that we have a good partnership with the STA. So utilize that as much as possible. But, yeah, it's a free event. More information will be at the fairchildskyfest.com.
Great. What's the experience like for someone going? Once you get in and you overcome that hurdle of traffic, what's the experience like? Should you bring some lawn chairs? Do you get to stand in a certain area? What's the experience like once you get in?
Once you get in, expect a lot of walking. We will have some golf cart shuttles to help people get to and from the parking lot to make that easier for folks who may have challenges walking. But definitely, shade will be at a premium. We do have some tents available and some places to rest, but like most air shows or most community events like that, expect a lot of walking. So if it's a sunny day, bring sunscreen, bring water, those types of things.
Yeah, talk more about that. What else should folks bring? Should they? Is it super loud for the kids? If you have sensitive hearing, what are some other things that folks might want to bring?
That's always a good idea. It's going to be loud, like you said, so make sure to wear some ear protection if that's going to be something that's going to be a concern of yours and your family. That's going to be very helpful. The sunscreen, it is going to be a cloudy day from what we're anticipating right now, so it should be really good weather, but you never know, right? So make sure to have everything. The website has a lot of different information, and there's a good list of things on there.
And this is a special Skyfest year, right? Because we're celebrating America 250 and also something else. Tell us give us a little preview of what people will expect to see.
Okay, yes, this air show is going to be special because of America 250, and the exact weekend of our air show is the 82nd anniversary of D-Day. So we're making a very concerted effort to tie in those two themes to this air show to pay homage to the many amazing Americans that have built the foundation for us to enjoy the freedoms that we do. We're going to do a a D-Day demo that's going to have those 3 historic aircraft that I recommended earlier. The Spokane Motor Pool is also coming, and they'll be driving their historic World War II vehicles on the flight line for the crowd to see. The static displays will be open as well, and then we'll have a host of a number of different generations of veterans on the installation as well for the community to interact with.
That's going to be powerful. Talk about how this could be just a really great educational experience for kids too. It's entertaining, right? But it also sounds like it can be educational. Can you talk more about what maybe families can take away from coming to an event like this?
Yes, of course. So we have the STEM hangar that's going to be full of different activities for kids to do. So a lot of opportunities for them to be able to engage with scientific things, mathematical things, how all that ties into what we do each and every day. So that's a really good opportunity for them to be able to be part of. In addition to that, static displays are going to be out there with some of the air crew, some of the military members. They're more than welcome to talk to each and every single one of them and understand how they got to where they got to.
Why do an event like this for the community?
Oh, it's so incredible for us to be able to put a community event like this on as a modicum of thanks. The Spokane community and communities close to here just support Team Fairchild day in and day out. I've been stationed at 9 different locations, and I've never seen an outpouring of love like we receive here in Spokane. So for us, this is like the smallest way we can say thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being there for us.
And why do you all do this? This is maybe in addition to your job, but why do you enjoy being a part of SkyFest?
I enjoy being part of SkyFest because as a pilot, that's one of my passions, right? To be able to show the public how what we do is such an important thing to the community, but also to the world. So it's that connection that we have with the community, with the military, with the country, and being able to show that off to everyone.
We're both parents as well, so I think we can speak for the other parents out there. It's incredible to put these types of events on for the kids so that they can get contact with all these different places and things and people and ideas and really open their eyes to what's out there and what they can do.
Incredible. All right, one more time, let folks know how they can be a part of SkyFest happening this weekend.
Free admission, just show up at the main gate. Gates open at 0900. Please bring a government ID if you are 18 years and older. Otherwise, you will be turned around due to our security procedures. And other than that, bring what you need to have a good time.
And for further information, go to fairchildskyfest.com.
All right, thank you so much for being here, and good luck. So excited to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's time to get an extended look at your forecast here on this Saturday, where temperatures are definitely on the cooler side. So we'll see daytime highs that are only in the low 60s across much of the region. And we also have the slight chance here of some showers and potentially even some isolated thunderstorm activity with breezy winds. So it's going to be a fairly active day here ahead of us. But if you do have outdoor plans, a good jacket here is what I recommend. Let's take a look at those daytime highs, because this afternoon, yes, we're only in the low 60s for both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. A daytime high of 60 degrees for St. Mary's, Sandpoint, and Bonners Ferry, with 59 as the high down on the Palouse for both Pullman and Moscow. Mid-60s even out toward parts of central Washington. So noticeably cooler compared to where we've been at previously. And all these areas that are shaded in green here do have the potential of seeing some thunderstorm activity. So isolated in nature, and we're watching for the general threat of thunderstorms, so we could just see some brief heavy downpour rain, some gusty winds, as well as small hail possible. As we take a look at your future tracker, here's into this afternoon, where across the inland northwest, we are seeing those scattered chances of some showers. Moving forward later on tonight, we see a gradual clearing trend for a lot of central and eastern Washington, while parts of the Camas Prairie and central Idaho will watch for some showers and even the return here of some mountain snow along the Montana-Idaho border. Tomorrow, we are going to be sunnier here, so we'll watch for some of that sunshine, increasing clouds by Monday and early next week. Overnight tonight, this is a big heads up here, folks, because some of the coldest temperatures are arriving for us tonight into tomorrow morning. So we dropped to the low 40s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but some of our northern valleys, take a look at Deer Park, dropping to the mid 30s. This is definitely not typical for this time of year. So if you are someone who has sensitive plants, consider bringing them inside. We're even dropping to 33 degrees tonight in Republic. And a heads up, if you did have plans to maybe do some camping, outdoor recreation, make sure that you are well prepared for cold weather conditions. As we take a look at what's to come, we continue to be breezy through tomorrow. However, we do see a little bit more sunshine. Temperatures, though, still in the mid-60s. As we look ahead to Monday, daytime highs there in the upper 60s, and overall our outlook into next week is we are trending a little bit cooler than average, and as far as precipitation goes, about on par with our average for this time of year. And a reminder, with the chance for those showers today, a helpful tool is having access to our live local radar, which you can view 24/7 on the free KREM 2 app on your TV or your phone.
All right, if you're driving on the back roads of Idaho, you might have seen these. They're called Mormon crickets. How they got their name and why they're appearing across the West this year in just a few moments. Well, summer is almost here, and that means barbecues, baseball games, and pool parties. But for some Idaho and Oregon towns, it means swarms of Mormon crickets. If you don't like bugs, you might want to go ahead, avert your eyes, and plug your ears.
It's kind of like nature's version of bubble wrap. Except every little pop is a little more disgusting.
Yeah, they're just gross. They're very noisy.
Bobette White lives in the small town of Holden, where you can tell spring has sprung when these six-legged creatures start hopping.
Well, it seems like for the last couple weeks, they just have come out from the back fields and they just get on the freeway.
Mormon crickets, thousands of them, making it look like the road is moving. They're not at White's house yet, but she's seen pictures of what it'll look like if they do.
I have neighbor friends that have had pictures that they're on their houses on the side of the walls. So,
and if that's not bad enough,
they just devoured people's gardens and lawns and I don't know, they're just, between those two, they're very destructive.
And yes, people here have been joking about bringing in some extra help, similar to what was done in those old pioneer stories.
So it's kind of a joke that, we need the seagulls to come and save us.
Until then, folks here will continue to do what they've always done. Live with it, laugh at it, and avoid walking barefoot for a while.
You just can't stand to be with them.
All right, I could definitely understand if you were a little grossed out by that. Me personally, not too much of a problem. I go fishing with crickets all the time, so that looks like some good bait right there. But some more interesting facts about the crickets. They move in bands and can travel up to 1 mile a day. If the insects didn't gross you out enough, though, their eggs can live in soil for 20 years. But as it turns out, even our experts like Brad Stokes, the crickets are an enigma in one way.
Entomologists, scientists, ecologists have kind of been trying to predict their population from year to year, which makes sense, but nothing has ever correlated ever. So depending on the weather, the rangeland habitat, the migration, the natural enemy population, microclimates as well, we get these population spikes. So it's basically impossible to predict when we're going to have a population explosion of Mormon crickets in Idaho. They have a unique reproduction where there is a nuptial gift. It's a spermatophore from the male, and the female feeds upon that. The females have very long sword-like ovipositors, so that's their egg-laying tube, and they lay their eggs underneath the soil in probably September or October. They're flightless, and they can have a varying amount of colors. So you can have black, brown, red, green, even almost purplish crickets.
All right, well, the eggs certainly make things a little bit more interesting, and I also wonder what that sounds like. But if you do come across the crickets, keep in mind that they can make these roadways extra slick. So be cautious and don't hydroplane. That's right, don't hydroplane. There's no water. There's just a bunch of crickets out there on the roads. And maybe even turn up the radio so you don't have to hear the crunch. All right, still ahead here on Up with KREM. It's been 82 years since soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy. We're remembering D-Day coming up in our next half hour. Ahead on Up with KREM, dozens of people are falling sick because of raw milk, where health experts are seeing infection spread.
Get your tickets, Spokane. Come on out.
Plus, an all-new music festival in the Lilac City. The big-name artists coming to local stages. And Broadway's biggest night is almost here. A preview of the shows and stars up for Tony Awards. Good morning and welcome to Up with KREM. It is a good day to have a good day. I'm Brandon T. Jones. Over in the Weather Center, we've got Jenny Power giving us all the latest information we need to know about our weekend forecast. Jenny, what's it looking like out there?
Yeah, Brandon, taking a look at the day today, it's definitely going to feel a little bit cooler out there. So if you do have any outdoor plans, just have a good jacket handy and ready to go. We do have the slight chance here of some rain showers popping up for us this afternoon and even the potential for some isolated thunderstorms. We'll also see some breezy winds, but right now for tomorrow, we are looking at mostly sunny skies, although Sunday is still going to be a little bit breezy. But this afternoon, our temperatures are noticeably on the cooler end, just reaching 60 degrees as the high this afternoon for Bonners Ferry and Sandpoint, low 60s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and just reaching the upper 50s for Pullman and Moscow. But we were looking at a daytime high of 52 north to Republic there up near Canada. So be prepared for that. These areas that are shaded in green do have the potential of seeing some thunderstorm activity by this late afternoon into early evening. As far as the timing of this goes, here's those increasing clouds that kind of start to shift out by mid-morning. But then by late afternoon, by about 5 p.m. here, that's when we're going to start to see the chances of some of those scattered showers. I'm also tracking much cooler temperatures tonight. The extended look at that, though, in just a few minutes.
Well, Idaho health officials are warning to stay away from unpasteurized raw milk. This coming after 2 outbreaks from drinking raw milk. The Department of Health and Welfare says nearly 60 people since May 19th have become ill after consuming this raw milk. And DHW says at least 45 of those people tested positive for a bacterial infection called campylobacteriosis. The agency is now investigating to identify the potentially contaminated batches. Governor Bob Ferguson signed an executive order in support of women's health. It adds protections for women in the workplace who are experiencing premenopause and menopause. The Mayo Clinic says menopausal symptoms cause about $1.8 billion of productivity losses nationwide. 2 in 5 women consider leaving their job or did leave a job because of menopausal symptoms. 1 in 4 considered not pursuing or did not pursue a leadership opportunity. That's according to the Society for Women's Health Research.
We are losing people in the workforce with tremendous knowledge, tremendous experience. We're losing their voices in leadership because we are not doing enough to prepare for a natural stage of life that impacts half our population.
Well, with this executive order now, the Washington State Women's Commission will work with state agencies to update policies that support people dealing with menopause symptoms. Well, we're just weeks away from an all-new music festival here in Spokane. It's the first ever Blessing in Disguise Festival. There will be artists like Macklemore, AJR, and AWOL Nation, and there are still some tickets up for grabs.
We've changed the layout once from what we originally were looking at and actually made it a little more condensed, which is going to be great because we moved one of the smaller stages off of the street and brought it inside the stadium and put it right next to the main stage. So some of these smaller acts that we have coming in, they're actually going to get more recognition and like be playing in front of more people. We had a target goal of where we'd like to be at the end of May, and we hit that knowing that a lot of the sales come within the last 4 weeks of leading up to the festival.
Get your tickets, Spokane. Come on out. I always tell folk, if you want good things to happen in your community, you got to show up. It's going to be great music. Stephen Day, Macklemore, AWOL Nation, myself and my friends, Big Head Todd and the Munsters. It's a great lineup.
Well, that was Alan Stone right there. And the festival is July 11th. There will be 4 different stages. General admission tickets are $95. Submissions for vendors are also still open at this point. For more information, go to bidmusicfest.com. And in some other entertainment news, a little taste of something you can watch tomorrow. Aside from Up with KREM, of course, it's the Tony Awards. Jared Hill is in New York with a preview.
From a wacky take on Titanic to a tale of two strangers, the 2026 Tony Awards are a love letter to the wonder of theater. The high-flying vampires of The Lost Boys leading the pack with 12 nominations. Going from screen to stage, Daniel Radcliffe is nominated for leading actor in a play with every brilliant thing. So is John Lithgow in Giant.
We feel like we're mesmerizing the audience there with just the emotions and the ideas of this play.
Carrie Coon and Rose Byrne picked up nods for leading actress in a play. Cats the Jellicle Ball, a full reimagining of the 80s classic, The Rocky Horror Show, and Ragtime up for Best Revival, hosting Grammy-winning superstar Pink. How are you feeling going into hosting the Tony Awards?
Terra-sighted.
I was going to say, are you excited or are you afraid? What makes you terra-sighted? The daring performer, both terrified and excited, but she says the one word for her opening number, mayhem.
I just want to make fun of myself as soon as I hit the stage and then just start the joy program.
She only stepped foot in a Broadway show for the first time this spring.
Now I've been on Broadway, and now I can host the Tonys.
A decision inspired by her daughter, an aspiring theater actress.
She's like, Mama, you're going to be amazing.
This year, the Tonys is also celebrating major Broadway milestones with performances marking decades of The Book of Mormon, Chicago, and A Chorus Line. What do you think makes this type of an art form so important now in the current landscape?
I mean, with the AIification of everything.
Deep Tran, editor-in-chief at Playbill.
I think we as humans want to be surprised and want to feel something real that we can't get anywhere else. And the only way to do that is to experience something in person.
Catch the Tony Awards this Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus. At Radio City Music Hall, I'm Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
It has taken quite a while. I started this back in October, I believe.
Next on Up with KREM, a local Girl Scout came up with a plan to help Centennial Trail cyclists. That's the latest in our Red, White, and You series. Plus, today we remember D-Day and the soldiers who gave their all. The message a 107-year-old veteran wants to share this year. Well, an 11-year-old girl in Liberty Lake is proving anyone can make a difference in their community. Here's how a Girl Scout created a space to make sure others on wheels could stay safe on the trail.
It has taken quite a while. I started this back in October, I believe.
Determination is a powerful force, especially for a Girl Scout.
Thank you. I'm Ruth.
11-year-old Ruth of Troop 2424 was determined to complete her service project.
I used glue stick, hot glue gun, popsicle sticks, and paint, just to build some little mock-up models.
In order to find a solution to a problem in her community, she took a direct route to the mayor's office.
It was really cool, and I got to talk with her, and she didn't really like the ideas that I had.
So Ruth pulled out a backup plan.
It was just a backup plan, backup idea, and I ran it past her, and she really liked it. And so that's kind of where the idea came from, of having a bike repair stand.
But she couldn't do it alone.
So I met Ruth at a skate park. She was going around selling Girl Scout cookies. Said, anybody want some cookies? And I'm like, boom, you hit the jackpot. You have no idea who you're asking.
Chris and Joseph Marzetta of Alltech Incorporated couldn't help but believe in Ruth's ambition.
She approached us to ask about, basically went around to other local manufacturing companies trying to build a bike stand. And we just matched enthusiasms and got excited to to help out with the project?
I went to different clubs like the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis Club, and then Chris and Joe donated.
Did you like that process? I mean, just like the rotohammer just didn't scare you. I'm hoping.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
She spent months researching materials and visiting other repair stations to learn what would help cyclists most and teach kids independence.
I hope that kids will be able to learn how to fix their own bikes. And not have to rely on other people or not be able to ride when their bike is not working. This is a flathead screwdriver, the other one is a Phillips. And then this is my favorite tool. It's a Allen wrench set, and this is nicer than the one that I have in my own toolbox. It is amazing.
You got this gal who's growing, gonna go into next stages of her life, and it's gonna keep pushing her to say, hey, I'm not gonna give up, I'm not gonna give up, and people are gonna follow that.
I made a lot of new friends, and then I also learned that people are usually really nice. Get the word out.
Doing good work in your community. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dozens of people turned out for Ruth's ribbon cutting at the bike repair stand in Liberty Lake. North Idaho and Eastern Washington Girl Scouts CEO Brian Newberry was there, as well as local police officers and community members. Ruth gave free bikes to kids as well. So way to go, Ruth. Coming up, an all-new preview of pop culture with the producers. How you can watch the latest episode right here on KREM 2.
Time to get an extended look at your forecast here on this Saturday, where temperatures are definitely on the cooler side. So we'll see daytime highs that are only in the low 60s across much of the region. And we also have the slight chance here of some showers and potentially even some isolated thunderstorm activity with breezy winds. So it's going to be a fairly active day here ahead of us. But if you do have outdoor plans, a good jacket here is what I recommend. Let's take a look at those daytime highs, because this afternoon, yes, we're only in the low 60s for both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. A daytime high of 60 degrees for St. Mary's, Sandpoint, and Bonners Ferry, with 59 as the high down on the Palouse for both Pullman and Moscow. Mid-60s even out toward parts of central Washington. So noticeably cooler compared to where we've been at previously. And all these areas that are shaded in green here do have the potential of seeing some thunderstorm activity. So isolated in nature, and we're watching for the general threat of thunderstorms, so we could just see some brief heavy downpour rain, some gusty winds, as well as small hail possible. As we take a look at your future tracker, here's into this afternoon, where across the inland northwest, we are seeing those scattered chances of some showers. Moving forward later on tonight, we see a gradual clearing trend for a lot of central and eastern Washington, while parts of the Camas Prairie and central Idaho will watch for some showers and even the return here of some mountain snow along the Montana-Idaho border. Tomorrow, we are going to be sunnier here, so we'll watch for some of that sunshine, increasing clouds by Monday and early next week. Overnight tonight, this is a big heads up here, folks, because some of the coldest temperatures are arriving for us tonight into tomorrow morning. So we dropped to the low 40s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but some of our northern valleys, take a look at Deer Park, dropping to the mid 30s. This is definitely not typical for this time of year. So if you are someone who has sensitive plants, consider bringing them inside. We're even dropping to 33 degrees tonight in Republic. And a heads up, if you did have plans to maybe do some camping, outdoor recreation, make sure that you are well prepared for cold weather conditions. As we take a look at what's to come, we continue to be breezy through tomorrow. However, we do see a little bit more sunshine. Temperatures, though, still in the mid 60s. As we look ahead to Monday, daytime highs there in the upper 60s. And overall, our outlook into next week is we are trending a little bit cooler than average. And as far as precipitation goes, about on par with our average for this time of year. And a reminder, with the chance for those showers today, a helpful tool is having access to our live local radar, which you can view 24/7 on the free KREM 2 app on your TV or your phone.
All right, behind the scenes here on Up with KREM, we love everything pop culture, and we also love our pop culture and Gen Z producers. So we got to give them an opportunity to get some talking out there in front of the camera. So they're discussing movies, music, celebrities. It's a whole lot of what we talk about before the show. Producers Kelsey Clark and Adriana Del Padre decided, why not bring that pop culture and talk in front of the cameras? Here's a sneak peek of the latest episode of Pop Culture with the producers.
something I'm really interested in are the two that just recently came out, Obsession and Backrooms. So cool. And I'm not like a horror movie person. I get so scared, like even in the theater, I'll like cover my eyes, I don't look. But I'm so interested in watching these because they look so cool, but both of the directors are like YouTubers, which is so interesting. Why'd they get picked up? I don't know. Obsession has such a small budget. So did Backrooms. Kane Parsons, the director of Backrooms, 20 years old. He's the youngest director for a #1 film ever.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy.
20 years old? What was I doing at 20? Not directing a movie.
No.
I was probably doing homework.
Probably.
I was sleeping.
And what's even crazier is there's a new Star Wars movie that just came out, right? Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu.
Pedro Pascal.
You know, I actually do kind of want to watch that because I love Baby Yoda. I'm never calling him Grogu.
It's Baby
Absolutely
Yoda.
not. It's Baby Yoda. What's crazy is those two movies beat out the new Star Wars movie. There hasn't been a new Star Wars movie in like 7 years. These two little horror, like indie movies beat out a Star Wars movie.
Which is crazy
Which is
to
crazy.
think about.
And it's both of these directors' first time directing. Curry Barker directed Obsession. It's his first time. He's 26. And Kane Parsons because he's 20. I would hope it's his first movie. But yeah, actually so crazy. I want to see Backrooms so bad. I know I can't watch Obsession in the theater because I would just get too scared and grossed out. But I will watch it at some point. Trust.
I'm a big old scaredy cat, so
Yeah.
I feel like I need to watch it in the day with someone, daylight, and then I need to go like outside afterwards and go touch grass
Right.
because I will get spooked out.
Yeah. And I need a blue slushie. I mean, icy. Same difference.
Blue fruzy.
Super fun stuff right there. Again, they are a blast, and we truly do love our producers. You can learn more about movies coming out this summer and even more pop culture news on the full episode. You can watch that on our new KREM 2 app. And still ahead, you won't want to miss this last story right here. In just 2 minutes, a conversation with a 107-year-old D-Day veteran. What he wants Americans to remember about that date 82 years later. Well, Jenny, today marks 82 years since D-Day, which is, of course, the largest seaborne assault in history. There are only a few D-Day veterans still well enough to return to those beaches, but this weekend, the Best Defense Foundation has flown 25 veterans back to Normandy.
Wow, okay, so Arthur Rose is one of them, now 107. He was a 25-year-old lieutenant in the Navy on D-Day, overseeing 36 landing craft packed with supplies to help the Army hold the beaches. Rose was born at a time when women couldn't vote. The Army was segregated, and phones came with a hand crank. He tells us he's amazed by the way that people live today.
I think they're provided with food better than in the past, and certainly with television and radio and cars and all that. Life is certainly much easier and better for all people of the world.
Can you believe that? 107 years old, a world that now, 82 years after D-Day, is better and freer than the one they came into before. In no small part because of Arthur's generation, for sure.
That is just incredible.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
to be able to speak to someone like that who has lived through so much history and to get that perspective, it's incredible.
I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. I mean, 107 years old.
Yes.
That's literally like a walking encyclopedia. You probably can learn so much from someone like him. And again, we want to say thank you to Arthur, of course, for his service, what he's done for our country, to all the men and women out there who have served our country.
Yeah, huge thank you and appreciation to our veterans, for sure.
Absolutely. And we want to say thank you as well for tuning in this morning to Up with KREM. We will see you tomorrow.
Yes. Have a great day, everybody.